Hello, hello. It is Dr. Sasheen. I am in the car. So, okay. Sorry. So we are on the go together, and I'm doing conversations with Dr. Sash. And the quote for today that I think is so important, and yes, we're traveling, so I'm on the move, but I wanted to get this done today because it's really important to me. Because I've been talking about this from the perspective of my own life so often that I think it's important, to give some context. So one of the things I posted today on Instagram, if you follow me there, is this idea that we are not trees. And this is actually a really good analogy to use because so many people decide that they're rooted in something. And so they start to feel like they can't really make any kind of changes because they can't unroot themselves. Because if they unroot themselves, then how will they get nourishment? How will they flourish? And the reality is that, we are not rooted to one spot. We are not required to be in one location, stay in one place forever and ever. I always think it's fascinating that people are born in a place and they never leave a place, because that's not how I live my life. And so, and I'm being careful, no hands, and I'm watching the road. And so I think it's really important to think about, if you are, as I am, a woman of a certain age, and if you're over the age of 35, you're a woman of a certain age at this point, then you need to ask yourself seriously, what is it that keeps you rooted in one spot? What is it about moving away from something? And I don't mean just physically, though that could be. Physically, maybe you need to relocate to a different physical environment. But I'm talking about emotionally and, so I can fix that glare. That's a little better. Emotionally, mentally, psychologically, what keeps you rooted to old belief systems? What keeps you rooted to old ideal systems? What we believed when we were 20 and possibly even, early 30s was still is something that may not hold true for you at later stages in your life. And if you have lived experiences, if you have gone out into the world and done anything, then you have been exposed to things, hopefully, that have run up against something that you hold dear and near or valued, and you've had a chance to evaluate and assess those things. And you know what else causes us to evaluate and assess things? Going through major life transitions, though, as I said, women of a certain age, chances are you've done a few things. You might have gotten married, you might have just come through a divorce, you might have kids, you might have decided to have no kids. And if you're above 40, everybody's asking you about why you didn't. Ignore those people. You might have done any number of things, gone to school, got a couple of degrees, held down a couple of jobs, crafted a whole career. You might have done so many things, and now you've got this itch in your body, this itch across your psyche, like somebody's rubbing sandpaper up against a deep part of you, and you don't know how to make them stop, and it won't go away because it's the itch that says, is this really it? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this where I want to be for the rest of my life? Is this all that my life is going to be? Or it's the itch that says, you know what? This is a moment where I can do something different. I've either come through something major like a divorce or kids leaving home or whatever, and you might be feeling like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I can do something else. And that may be scaring the bejesus out of you right now, because you've probably been so into one way of existing for so long, it doesn't even occur to you that you can do something different. And that's where I come back to, but you are not a tree. You are a seed. You are a seed-bearing person, and you can choose to spread seeds anywhere at all. You do not actually have to stay where you are and hope for the best. You can say, there is an entire world out there, and I want to go taste a different piece of it than I have been up to this point. So hopefully this little Sunday conversation with the Bliss Doctor gets you thinking about the fact that We don't need to be tree-like in our approach to life. We have only so many minutes and so many hours in this thing called life. But if you're still on this side of the grass, you owe it to yourself to use those minutes and hours in the way that most maximizes what you want to get out of life. And you know what? If you're at the age where you're like, I just want to go live near my ex, then go live near them. If you're someplace that you would really rather not be, then go do that. Whatever it is, though, get it into your head and into your heart that the most important thing is the most important thing. And the most important thing is 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year until we're done, until we're no longer on this side of the grass. And since you're not a tree, give yourself permission. I give you permission to start thinking about where you can spread your seed, even better, where you can spread your wings and come up with something that's like what you're dreaming of at this moment. It's Sunday night. Don't let Monday morning find you still hoping that you could do something different. It's been Dr. Sash, also known as the Bliss Doctor, with your Sunday conversation with me. Leave a comment. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know if there are other topics that you want to hear about, because I'd love to talk to you about them. I will see you all next time. Bye now.